alrighty. Speaking of this one right here, you got the Trinibad, especially with the Black Haze and Sav'o, and you got the Horrid1, and you got the GMFT, especially with this one coming through right here. You got a whole just Trinibad, you got a whole pronounced thing going on here, but you just got with the Horrid1, the Sav'o, the Black Hat, Haze, and everything else, especially from this whole thing, how I'm seeing it, but you just got with the Trinibad.
Is that how you going on, yeah?
Gunman from Trinidad, wish you were 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 gunman from Trinidad. Girl come pop up, gunman from Trinidad. Walk on man from Trinidad, wish you 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 walk on man from Trinidad. Girl come pop off your panty, back way let me stop up your auntie, leave your boom boom wet like tsunami. Girl come pop off your panty, back way let me stop up your auntie, leave your boom boom wet like tsunami. Trinidad, wish you walk on man from Trinidad. Girl come pop off your panty, back way let me stop up your auntie, leave your boom boom wet like tsunami. Corporal sergeant in the army.
Ooh, he said leave boom boom like beyond Fonzie, something. Hey, and then he said, throw off something, hey, with the whole thing, but hey, you know how this is coming, and everything else. And then they sliver in the paint too, like, oh, like they just throwing the entire stick paint, onto the, how this whole thing is going, especially with this whole thing and this whole, like, it's a whole from bromic thing coming on, like it's a whole thing going on here.
Boom boom wet like tsunami. Corporal sergeant in the army. Back shot so you know you feel of that. Tell them me no walking at the trap. Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie.
JS. Girl forget to rock your back like so. She arch her back when I slip in my trunk. Dip that down, I'm hitting it rough. She bust it down for the gang she lost. Step with the knees out the K like sauce. If I rise that up, I'm letting it bust. Baby make my ting rise up. Cock it up on the dumper truck. Dump our truck. Cock it up on the dumper. Cock it up on the dumper truck.
The girl them love. Girl them say that we sweet like fudge. Panty flying the sky like dove. Girl them wow, the gangsta love.
How much girl have a fuck I don't
love. Girl them say that we sweet like fudge. Panty flying the sky like dove. Girl them wow, the gangsta love.
How much girl have a fuck I don't know. I'm a dog. She just want this long black ting in her nose. The ting and let that bark. Man I took it old school. Fucked her in a park.
Ooh, hey, the whole thing, especially how the whole thing is, hey, I don't even know how to put this, especially with this whole stainless thing, like he letting it know, the whole thing, especially coming from the whole income, like, it's coming from another side of a string, especially how this whole thing is coming, like they really out here tossing stuff, throwing things, and building things, they really out here, putting the whole thing, especially how this whole thing is like another senseless thing, you got that whole senseless thing going on, and that's the whole thing, I'm already I'm already feeling like the type of energy they putting on, especially the whole pipe they doing, they doing that whole pipe and
No, the ting and let that bark. Man I took it old school. Fucked her in a park. Wine. That girl broke up her spine. She don't fuck with none of them punks. And then man bring that girl back to mine.
Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie. Leave your boom boom wet like tsunami. Corporal sergeant in the army. Back shot so you know you feel of that. Tell them me no walking at the trap. Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie. Pass me the key cause you know me the pilot. Weed off his cell body cook me if you fly that. Girl what you fuck me say stop me so why not? Black case long time you have to try that. You have to think you have to open up your eye top right up tight spot. If you fuck me say stop me. You know me the pilot. Weed off his cell body cook me if you fly that. Girl what you fuck me say stop me so why not? Black case long time you have to try that. You have to think you have to open up your eye top right up tight spot up in your tight spot. When done fuck you know you have to like that. Trinibad how you say? Gunman from Trinidad, wish you were 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 gunman from Trinidad, man from Trinidad, wish you were gunman from Trinidad. Girl come pop off your panty, back way let me stop up your auntie, leave your boom boom wet like tsunami. Corporal sergeant in the army, back shot so you know you feel of that.
Ooh, did he say like a tsunami? Ooh, he said like tsunami, and especially how they got it going, like it's everywhere. Like they got something tsunami coming on here, like especially how the whole thing, this is something tsunami, because I see pain, I see, stuff on everybody. It's like they didn't through something. I don't know what it is, it's spray, whatever it is, they didn't tuning in, like he said, like, hey, I'm on sports, like tsunami, something like that. But this whole thing, it's epic.
Paul Sergeant in the army. Back shots so you know you feel love that. Tell them me no walking at the trap. Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie. Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie. Leave your pum pum wet like tsunami. Corporal Sergeant in the army. Back shots so you know you feel love that. Tell them me no walking at the trap. Girl come pop off your panty. Back way let me stop up your auntie.
Hey, but we gonna stop right here though. This whole thing, but you got what Horrid1, Sav'o, Black Haze, and everything else. Especially how this whole thing was coming. This whole thing was coming from another benefit. It was everywhere. Hey, it was a tsunami. It was a whole tsunami and everything else. Especially how this whole thing was coming and everything else. Like how this whole thing was, turning everything else. You got something else epic. But you just got with this whole thing, especially with the Horrid1, Sav'o, and everything else, especially with the everything else, it was so much, going towards it, especially with this one right here. It had like the energy was so piped up, like I'm talking about. It was crazy, but this one is the one right here. Most definitely, got make sure you guys tune into this one, because this one tells you everything, what's going on and everything else. But make sure you guys definitely like, comment, everything else, and this one.